Hello guys, welcome to Mislead Guru guys by Guru himself. Okay. Uh Today guys I'm coming with a different topic guys. I just want to make your life simple. That's what I can say. So make sure guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and then you like my videos. If you have to share with your friends, your families, share with them. If you know someone that is doing mislead and then this video can be helpful for them, share with them. Okay, I'm also sharing this knowledge for free here on YouTube. Okay, so share with other people. Let's share the information so that by the end of the day no one has to fail. Okay, we all have to make it in life. Okay, so that is why I'm also posting these videos on YouTube so that let us all be educated. Okay, so I'm just helping you because lately I found many learners struggling with tariffs. Okay, so it gives them a hard time. So I want to make sure that now what I'm going to give you right now here is gonna help you a lot on understanding how to deal with the tariffs, more especially when it comes to water tariff and electricity. Okay, so the approach for water and electricity is one. So they are more like the same. So the only difference is the unit of measurement. So in the water we use the kiloliters, and then in electricity we use the kilowatts. Okay, so uh what makes me to master mislead, I just want to pin out some of the things, some of the strategies that I use so that I have to understand the mislead. Okay, so in mislead, what I like about mislead is that they always present you with the information, and your answers, I mean, your answers will depend on the information that is presented to you. Okay, so in order for you to be able to answer those questions, make sure that you interpret. Okay, you interpret and then you read the information with understanding the information that is presented to you. Okay, so in terms of this water tariff, what are we going to start with? Okay, uh I just want to hide these questions because I'm not interested in the questions. I'm interested in understanding this table here. Let me move this. Okay, right. So when you look at this table, for me I will say it is complicated. Even for you I will say it is complicated, but what can you do for it to sound easy? You understand? So we're first going to unpack it and summarize it into a piece that we are all going to understand, or you are going to understand. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, right. The meaning of this table is that your own municipality is going to charge you for water. Okay, here we talk about people that pays water monthly. Okay, we can talk about people that are staying in developed townships. Okay, because some of us, we from the villages. In the villages we don't know about this thing, so we depend on river waters. Okay, so people that are staying in townships, they are more familiar with this because you know every month they get the bills that this is how much you have consumed of water, and then this is how much you're supposed to pay. Okay, so now I am going to unpack on how did they calculate that amount that you see on your bill. Okay, so now when you look at this table, when you look at the prices here, just want to touch the prices here. When you look at the prices here, the prices are going up. And when you look at the kiloliters here, they are also going up. So in a simple way, it means that the more you use water, the more you're going to pay. If you use less water, you are going to pay less. Okay, so in that way, all right. So this table is, for me, it is complicated right now. But what do I want to do right now? I want to to try and summarize it. Okay, so look at how I'm going to summarize it. Okay, so how do I approach this? I first name these rows. Okay, that row number 1, I'm going to call it block 1. Then this one is block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5. Now I have identified that I have 5 blocks. Okay, let me write it somewhere here. I have block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and block 5. Okay, so now I am going to summarize the usage of water. Okay, now I'm going to summarize the usage of water. I cannot summarize the tariff because the tariff is given. Okay, so with the tariff you don't summarize them, they are already given to you. Okay, so what you need to summarize is the usage of water. So now let's come to block number 1. Here I'm going to mention the word accommodation. Okay, and the word depleted, but the word depleted, it will come when we are in the question, in answering a question. Okay, so when you look at block number 1, in block 1 it says from 0 kiloliter to 9 kiloliters. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that they are counting. Okay, they are saying basically block 1 can accommodate from 0 to 9. Okay, so meaning that this block 1 can accommodate 9 kiloliters. I don't know if it makes sense. This block can accommodate 9 kiloliters because now we're going to count from 0. Remember, if you're counting from 0, you don't count 0, you count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you count there with your fingers, you get 9, meaning that block number 1 can accommodate 9 kiloliters. Okay, then we move from block number 1, then we go to block number 2. Okay, so but block number 2, it has the same a different story now. It talks about, okay, before I go to block number 2, let me talk about the charges, which is the tariff. Okay, which is the tariff. So in block number 1, it says for your very first 9 kiloliters, we are not going to charge you. That will be your municipality. Okay, and remember the tariff depends on where you are staying. This the tariff blocks that they are using, they are different according to the municipalities. Okay, so meaning that here it is free, they don't charge you. Okay, then let's go. Then we come to block number 2. Block number 2, they are saying we are going to count from 10. We are going to count from 10 up until 25 kiloliters, meaning that block number 2 accommodate kiloliters that are between 10 and 25. Remember, already they have charged you. I want to do this. Okay, let me do it here on top. Already you had 0, and then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all of this has been charged. Okay, so how much was the charge? The charge was free, nil. Okay, then now we continue. When we continue with this block, then block number 2, it says we are going to start counting from 10 up until 25. Okay, so when you look at your first block, this is our block number 1, this one. Our block number 1, we counted from 1 up until 9. So if your block number 2 doesn't start at number 10, it means there's a mistake that you're making. Okay, so our last number here, it is 9. Let me write it down here. It is 9. Okay, so when we go to block number 2, when we start counting, we're going to start at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then we stop, because this block number 2, it says we must count from 10 up until 25. Okay, then we have done that, then we stop. That is block number 2. Okay, so according to block number 2, we started at number 10. Let me confirm, because I've just drawn here. This is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25. I think I've made 2 lines here. Yeah, I think I made a mistake here. I've added a line here. Yeah. So we are starting from 10, which is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And then we stop here at 25. That means 25 is this last line. So here, okay? So now we come to check how many kiloliters can be accommodated in block number 2. Remember, here we are still talking about block number 2. Okay, so in block number 2, we are going to count now. Remember, now we're no longer counting from 10 to 25, but we want to know the number of kiloliters that are between between 10 and 25. Okay, so when I check here, now we're going to count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That means the kiloliters that are between 10 and 25, they are 16, meaning that block number 2 can accommodate 16 kiloliters. So how much are they going to charge you? Now, for these kiloliters, now they are going to charge you 9 rand 27 cents. Okay, and now check, meaning that you have used so far in block number 2, that means now you have used 25 kiloliters. But out of these 25 kiloliters, 9 is free. Then the remaining 16, they are going to charge you 9 rand 27 cents. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, we continue. Then we go to block number 3. So our block number 3 start from 26, and look at the sequence here. Okay, the number that the block end with, the following block must start at the number that comes after. For example, look at block number 1. It have ended with 9, meaning that block number 2 must start at 10. So if this block have ended at 25, meaning that this block is going to start at 26. Is a continuation. Okay, so this block we are going to count from 26 up until 30. So that is 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then we close. That is block number 3. We count from 26 up until 30. So how many kiloliters are between 26 and 30? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have 5 kiloliters. We have 5 kiloliters. And right now, when I'm doing this, someone is gonna be frustrated and say, but if I say 30 minus 26, I'm getting 4. Yes, you're going to get a 4, because your calculator is not counting. your calculator is making difference. Okay, yes, difference between 30 and 26 is 4. Okay, difference between 25 and 10 is 15. Okay, but when you count from 10 to 25, you are going to get 16. Okay, so that is why here in tariff I have a method. If you're given big numbers whereby you cannot count, yes, you can use a calculator, but when you use a calculator, you must always add 1. Okay, if I'm going to say now, look at block number 2. Block number 1, we cannot talk about it. It is straightforward, this one. Okay, so in block number 2, if we want to know how many kiloliters are between 10 and 25, if you take your calculator and say 25 minus 10, you get 15 straight away. Okay, because your calculator, I repeat, your calculator, it is not counting. But what does your calculator do? Your calculator find the difference between 25 and 10. Okay, right. So here we're dealing with counting. Okay, then now, according to the tariff block here, for block number 3, you are going to pay 12 rand for each kiloliter here, 12 rand 36 cents. Okay, then we go to block number 4. Block number 4, it says we must count from 31 to 45. Then let's do that. Remember, block number 3 have ended at 30. This is block number 3. Then block number 4, it starts at 31, meaning that this is 31. So that is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay, let me double check. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Okay, so they are 45. Then that means here we are stopping at 45. So how many kiloliters are between 31 and 45? We count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they are 15 kiloliters. Let's do again. Let's take it, calculate and see. We're going to say 45 minus 31. We get 14. We don't get 15. We get 14. Why? I remind you, because your calculator is finding the difference between 45 and 31. It is not counting from 31 to 45. Okay, so if I'm using the calculator, then I will say 45 minus 31, it gives me 14, then I add it with 1, so it gives me the 15 that I want. Okay, and then the charge here is 19 rand 6 cent. Remember, here we are not answering any question, but what do? We are literally making sense of this table. Okay, we are making sense of this table. Okay, let's come to block number 5. This one confuses people. This one, block number 5, there is no counting that you are going to do. Okay, the last block, as long as it says more than, look at the last block, number 4. It said it ended at 45. Okay, then this one, number 5, it says more than 45, meaning that whatever have remained, we are taking it to block number 5. We don't care. We take everything that is remaining to block number 5. So in block number 5, there is no counting that you can do, meaning that there is no maximum kiloliters allocated for this block. This block takes everything that is remaining. I will explain this later on. Okay, So we just take it like that. We say more than 45. Now let me tell you a beautiful story here. And how much do they charge? They charge 20 rand 96 cent. Let me tell you a beautiful story here. I want to talk about block number 1 up until block number 4, that they are talking with block number 5. Block number 5, it says more than 45. Okay, when you look at block number 1, from block number 1 up until block number 4, if you take this maximum kiloliters per block, you add them together, you're gonna say 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 15. You must get 45. Let's do it. 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 15. We get 45 straight away. Okay, let me try and explain this so that it is gonna make sense. Now, block number 4, 3, 2, 1, they distribute 45 kiloliters of the kiloliters that you have used for that particular month. But if you have not used 45, you will see where you end. But if you have used more than 45, I'm giving an example. Let's say someone have used 50 kiloliters of water. Okay, what are we going to do? From this 50 kiloliters, we are going to take what? 45 kiloliters and distribute it between block 1, block 2, block 3, and block 4. So what is going to be remaining? That is 50 minus 45. Then we are left with 5 kiloliters. Then where does this 5 kiloliters go? This 5 kiloliters goes to block number 5. All, we don't care how much is left, but we take everything to block number 5. I'm giving you another example. Let's say there is someone who have used 120 kiloliters of water. Okay, then we need to know how much will this person pay. What do? We take 45. Why do I write 1 here? Where is this one coming from? Okay, we take 45 out of 120, and then we will be remaining with how much? 120 minus 45, and then we are left with 75 kiloliters, meaning that this 45 kiloliters will still be distributed between block 1 up until block number 4. Then the remaining 75 kiloliters, we take it to block number 5, because this is the more of 45. I hope I made sense. Okay. Now, if you look at our tariff table there, they give us some important information that we need to consider there. Okay, they said there's a fixed charge here. There are fixed charges. Remember, these are the variable charges. Okay, these are the variable charges, meaning that they depend on how much water you use. Okay, so your fixed charges, they are not going to charge you according to what we have done here. Okay, it's just one amount. Okay, so it is no longer according to liters. They will say we charge you for per liter. They're not charging you per liter. Okay, but what are they saying? They're saying from 0 to 9 we don't charge you, meaning that if in a month you have used 8 kiloliters, you're not going to have a fixed charge for that month. Okay, but look at this. Who will qualify for that? Who can use this in a month? Unless if you go to a holiday and then you leave your house empty, then you will qualify for that. Okay, now let's look at this. They say greater than 9. So if what you have used for that month, you have used more than 9 kiloliters, therefore they are going to give you a fixed charge of 83 rand 43 cent. Okay, for that particular month. And then what are they saying? They're saying the tariff exclude 15% of VAT. Okay. Now we have understood. I think I've made this to sound way simpler. Okay. More understandable, this tariff block, how to summarize it. Now, because we have summarized, we are no longer going to work with this. But we are going to work with what we have summarized here. Okay, let's jump on to our questions. I don't know what I need to do. Okay, it's fine. Let's look at number 1. Soli is a 31-year-old who stays alone. During January 2023, he have used 35 kiloliters of water. Calculate how much he must pay, including VAT. Okay? Solely have used, I come here and write, Solely have used 35 kiloliters. Okay? Now, let's go back to our summary, the table that we have summarized. How is he going to pay? Okay. According to this table, block number 1, we start with block number 1. So we don't do block 2, then we do block 4. We start with block number 1. Then when we have depleted, I remember mentioning that we're going to talk about the word depleted. Okay. When we have depleted block number 1, we go to the next block. Okay. So according to block number 1, they say out of this 35 kiloliters, we minus 9 kiloliters. This 9 kiloliters, we come here. These 9 kiloliters, they are going to charge it 0.00, meaning that this 9 kiloliters is free. So solely for the first 9 kiloliters that he's going to use, or that he have used in January, is going to be free. Okay, then we check. Now we are left with how many kiloliters to charge. So it's 35 minus 9. So we are left with 26 kiloliters to charge. Okay. Then what have happened? We have now depleted block number 1. We can no longer come to this block and utilize it. So we immediately move to block number 2. Okay. So block number 2, it can accommodate a maximum of 16 kiloliters. Now our question is, we are now left with how many kiloliters to charge? We are left with 26 kiloliters of water that we must charge. Now the question is, can 26 fit into 16? Can it fit? The answer is no, it cannot fit. It's too big. Okay? Meaning that we cannot take anything more than 16. Okay? So we are going to take the maximum of this block, which is what? Which is 16. So we cannot charge the whole of 26 in block number 2. Okay? We are only going to charge how much? 16 kiloliters, because 26 is bigger than 16. Okay? So we are charging 16 only. So 16 kiloliters. Block number 2, remember we are in block number 2. So in block number 2, they say they are now going to charge him 9 rand 27 cent per kiloliter. Okay, that's going to be 16 multiplied by 9.27, which is equals to 148.32. Okay, now we have charged, out of that 26 that was remaining, we have charged 16 kiloliters. Let's see how many kiloliters we still need to charge. 26 minus 16, we get 10. We are left with 10 kiloliters to charge. Therefore, now we have depleted block number 2, then meaning that we move to block number 3. Okay, then what does block number 3 say? Block number 3 says it can accommodate 5 kiloliters of water. Okay, now how many kiloliters are we left with to charge? We are left with 10 kiloliters. Now the question is, can 10 kiloliters fit into 5 kiloliters that we have here? Can 10 fit here? No, it's big. 10 is bigger than 5. So 10 cannot fit into 5. So what do? We only take the maximum of this block. So the maximum of this block is how much? Is 5. Therefore, we only charge 5 kiloliters out of 10 that is remaining. We only charge what? We only charge 5. So this block charges how much? So this block charges 12 rand 36 cent per kiloliter. Is it? Yeah, 12 rand 36 cents per kiloliter. Okay, let's see how much is it. 5 multiplied by 12,36, which is 61 rand 80 cent. Okay, so let's see how much. Yeah, that's it. Now let's check. Now we have charged, out of this 10 we have only charged what? 5 kiloliters. Then we are now left with how much? We are now left with 5 kiloliters to charge. We must charge this 5 kiloliters. Okay, then we go back. We are left with 5 and we have depleted block number 3 now. This block is depleted now. We can no longer use this block. It's depleted. Okay, right. Now we move to block number 4. Block number 4, it says it can accommodate a maximum of 15 kiloliters. But the way we are charging solely, we are only left with 5 kiloliters that we need to charge, because the rest of the kiloliters, 9, 16, 5, they have been charged. Okay, so we are left with 5 to charge. But block number 4 can accommodate a maximum of 15 kiloliters. Now the question is, we go again, we ask it again, can 15 kiloliters fit into 15 kiloliters? 5 can fit into 15 and it will have some remainings. Okay, so we don't care about how much it is remaining. We only care about how much we must charge, how much is left for us to charge. We are left with 5 kiloliters to charge, meaning that when we go to block number 4, we are not going to charge 15 kiloliters. We are only going to charge 5 kiloliters that is left. Okay, so we are going to charge 5 kiloliters at how much? At 19 rand 6 cent. 19 rand 6 cent. Let's see, 5 multiplied by 19,06, that is 95 rand 30 cent. 95 rand 30 cent. Now let's do the totals. We have to make sure. Remember, Soli have used 35 kiloliters. So we are going to say 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 5. Not 15, 16. 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 5. So we're getting the number of kiloliters. We are getting 35. If when you add all of these kiloliters, you don't get 35, it means your calculations were wrong. And then the amount there's going to be 148,32 plus 61,8 plus 95,30, and that is can that get to 300? Yes, it is. So I'm getting here 305 rand 42 cent. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so is this what Sol is going to pay? Remember, the fixed charges per month, did solely use only 9 kiloliters for the whole month? No. Did solely use kiloliters that are more than 9? Yes. So how much will solely pay? Solely now will be added with what? 83 rand 43 cent. Meaning that now, therefore solely now is going to be charged 305.42 plus 83.43. 83.43. And remember, the tariffs, all of our tariffs, they exclude VAT. Okay, 42 plus 83.43, and that is 388.85. Okay, now we have to include VAT. Okay, I just want to explain a few things about VAT here. Okay, now when you are working with VAT, remember VAT goes in 3 ways. Okay, we have VAT. I like to study it here. VAT is 15%. Okay, now we have what on top here? We have VAT exclusive, meaning that the VAT is not included here. So if the VAT is not included, that means we're talking about an original amount which is 100%. Okay, and then I will underline here and then have what? VAT inclusive, meaning that in this percentage the VAT has been included. So this amount says that the VAT is not included, so let's include it, meaning that we are going to add these two and then we will get 115. Okay, so these are the percentages in VAT. Okay, so these ones, they stay like this up until our VAT increases, because you know this is South Africa, anything can happen and change tomorrow. Okay, right. When you look at this amount, remember, because they said tariff exclude 15%, meaning that this amount of 388, it is a VAT exclusive amount. This amount, okay, so meaning that this amount represent 100%. Okay, so when it comes to what you're going to multiply with, I'm just going to do this. What you're going to multiply with, okay, what you put here, what you put on top, it is basically what you want. Okay, and then the number that you're going to put on the bottom here, it is what you have. Okay, so let's come back here. The amount that we have here, it is 388.85. That's what we have. And then what do we want here in terms of the percentages? What do we want? Which percentages do we want? We want the VAT inclusive. We want the VAT to be included in this amount. Okay, so but when you take this, you no longer take this, you don't take this sign, you only take the numbers. So the percent that we want 115%. Okay, so that's what we want. So we're going to put 115. And what is it that you have? What do you have? This amount, it must talk to this amount. It must talk to this amount. This amount here, it represents which percentage? It represents 100%. Okay, meaning that on the bottom here we're going to put 100. Therefore, how much is it? So it's going to be 388.85 multiplied by 115 over 100, and then we get 447.18. That's how much Soli is going to pay. That's how much they are going to charge him. Okay, let's go to question number 2 now. Right. In question number 2, they say Soli's sister stays with 2 kids and they have used 80 kiloliters of water during January 2023. Calculate how much she must pay. Remember, I did this deliberately because in Meslit and actually in real life, whatever you pay, if that qualifies for VAT, the already whatever you have to pay must include VAT. I want to give you an example. You go to Pick and Pay, you want to buy white bread, okay? So the price that you see on the shelf, that's what you're going to pay, isn't it? So automatically that price is including VAT. So no one has to tell you that how much is the VAT. Already the VAT is included. They are not going to calculate it at the till. Okay. So here, if they say how much is going to pay, meaning that if they don't specify that the amount that she must pay must include or exclude, just know that they want the amount that will already include the VAT. Okay. So I want now we are going to take we're still going to use the same table. Okay, so I want to copy that table down there because we are going to do it here. Okay, let me quickly write it. Let me use a different color. Okay, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5. Right. Block 1, I remember it was 9 kiloliters. That was free. Block 2, it was 16 kiloliters. That was 9 rand 27 cent. And in block number 2, it was 5. Was it 5? Let me check. Let me double check. 5.15. Okay, that was correct. That is 5 kiloliters. Then this is 15 kiloliters. Then this is more than 45 kiloliters. So this one, it was 12 comma, let me check them here, 12,36, 19,06, 12,36, 19,06. Let me check. More than 45. More than 45 is 20 rand 96 cent. I'm gonna be fast on this last one, comma 96. Okay, straight to what is needed. Okay, right. When we check up there, they say Soli's sister have used 80 kiloliters of water. So we are going to calculate how much she's going to pay for 80 kiloliters. Okay, right. Let me put it here. So I'm going to put those ones here. This one of minusing the kiloliters, you can do it on a piece of paper, but on your answer sheet it must not appear. Okay, 80 kiloliters. Therefore, now from the 80 kiloliters, we are now starting to charge 9 kiloliters. 9 kiloliters multiplied by 0 rand. That is 0,00, and then we minus 9 kiloliters. Then we are left with 71 kiloliters. Then from this 71, we charge 16 kiloliters. Therefore, now we can charge, remember 71, we are left with 71. Can 71 fit into 16? No. Then we take the maximum of this block. So we have depleted these 2 blocks, kiloliters, multiplied by 9, 27. 16 multiplied by 9 comma 27, that is 148. That is 148 comma 32. Okay, and then we move. Then for 71 minus 16, that is 55. That is 55. Then we say, can 55 fit into 5? No, it is too big for it. Okay, so we take the maximum of block number 3, which is 5 kiloliters, multiply by 12,36. Therefore we have charge 5, then we write 5 kiloliters. We are taking it out, so that is 5 multiplied by 12. Let me write this correctly because it's like R now. So that is 1 2, okay, comma 36, that is 61,8. Therefore we are left with 50 kiloliters. Then can 50 fit into 15? No. Then we take the maximum of block number 4, then we subtract 15, and then we charge 15 kiloliters here. 15 multiplied by 19,06, that is equals to 15 multiplied by 19,06, that is 285,9. okay, therefore now we are left with how much? Let's see. 50 minus 15, that is 35. That is 35. Then what do we do with 35? Can 35 fit in block number 5? Remember, block number 5 is to accommodate anything that has left after you have distributed 45 kiloliters. Now, did you distribute 45 kiloliters? Let's check. Let's check if we have distributed 45. Let's check. We can do it. Let's check. It's 9, 16, 5, 15. So it's 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 15. And then we get 45. Okay. So we have distributed 45 between block 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is left is 35. We are left with 35. Therefore, this 35 kiloliters, now we are going to charge them at how much? 20,96. Let's see, 35 multiplied by 20,96. That gives me 733,60. Okay. Good. So when you add your kiloliters, you must get 8, remember? So it's going to be 9 plus 16 plus 5 plus 15 plus 35, which give us 8. So we are correct. That means, yeah, even the total now we can add 148,32 plus 61,80 plus 285,9 plus 733,60, and then I have here 1,229,62. Then remember, they are fixed charge because you have used more than 9, greater than 9. We come back here to the fixed charge. We are done with the variable charge, so now we are here at the fixed charge. Okay, so they are going to charge her 83 rand 43 cent. So we just add it to that total, to this total. We add 83, how much was the cents there? Just forgot the cents. 43. And remember, the VAT is not included, 43. So we are also going to include the VAT, 43. and that is 1313.05. Okay, let's include VAT now. Remember, when we include VAT, this amount, it is in excluding VAT, and then we need the amount that include VAT, which is 115 over 100, which now is going to be 115 divided by 100, and that is 1510,0075. So if we round this to the to two decimal place, let's run it off to two decimal place. It's going to be, remember, if you're rounding to two decimal place, that means we need to remain with two numbers after the comma. Okay, so we look at the three numbers that comes after the comma. So we are going to increase this number or leave it the way it is. So in this case, that means this is comma 01, because this number is above 4. So if the number is above 4, between 5 and 9, we add this number. But if it was between 0 and 4, we were going to leave it as 00. I hope I made at least sense. Okay, so that will be the end of my lesson for today, guys. This is all I've tried to do. I hope my method is gonna change lives. It's gonna make people to understand, to see a tariff in a different perspective according to what I have just done here. Okay, so if you have liked the video, if you have liked my method, remember guys, I'm running how can I put this? Is it mentorship or what? But it's not a mentorship. I'm not mentoring. I am teaching online, guys. So remember, I'm not going to release all the information here, guys. So if you need deep information, if you need practice with question papers and stuff, I'm available. I do my classes online. You don't need to meet with me. You don't need to be closer to me. Anywhere you are, you can definitely get in touch with me, and then I can teach you at your comfort of your home. Okay, so you can catch me online. Okay, so just comment if you need my WhatsApp numbers or you want anything. Just comment. If you want me to touch on a topic, just comment there and then mention it, and then I shall get on top of it. Okay, so thank you. If you have watched the video for this far, thank you and God bless you.